care that the world-class empire continues to grow. $30 for an action figure is too much, and any price is too much for a Funko Pop. Now, I've seen my name in print, but it's wonderful to see a book about me, El Jefe, the stalking of truth. I've never actually stalked anyone. You know what? You can pause that, and let's get to the toys. So this Ollie's has a Spectre in the background, the head of a floating Ollie, but we're not here to look at that. We're here to look at this Transformer. It's a $30 Transformer, so Ollie's is offering you a whopping $10 off. Should be 50% off, but we have, I guess that's Optimus Prime, Transformers United. And look, escaping fictional characters that are trying to make their home back to Wakanda. Please, folks, do what you can do to sponsor a lone Wakandan. They really need it this time of year. 'Tis the season for world-class bullshit. Fa la 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 la, ra 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 ra. Oh, Eternals. Oh, Eternals disc launchers. Oh, Ahsoka. Oh, Long Johnson. Let's look at the Riva, shall we? We have a Riva, 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 and Riva. Okay, whole peg. And looks like a whole nother peg of Rivas. And up here we got Riva, 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 Riva. Oh, the Emperor! He ruined our streak. I feel like I should sweeten these toy line shelves and make it look like they're all in one place, but the WCBS way is I walk in, I film it the way I find it. That's why half of this crap seems unbelievable, because, well, it shocked even me. And I've seen a lot of strange stuff over the years. Like crypto cash. Look, you can burn your money both ways. Buy crypto cash, buy crypto. You're going to lose out either way. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor, folks. But what I am is world class, and I'm here to tell you thank you. This was a fun video, but we're not going to really count this as the big fan video because a lot of the footage was bad or unusable, and I want to give you guys a chance to do it again. So, shout out to everybody who sent in the footage. But folks, thank you for watching.
Red explosion signals the beginning of the festivities. A total of 100,000 spectators have made their way through the light rain to the venue where they're awaiting a dazzling show over the sea. The entire port, which is serving as the venue, has been lit up festively, complementing the beauty of the fireworks as well. This year, for a display at unprecedented scale, with over 30,000 fireworks set off every 2 minutes. Meanwhile, people have decorated their homes with flowers and lanterns.
Hello? Director Chen. What's the matter?
Shelia, sorry to disturb you while you're off. It's an urgent mission from HQ. Each team member has been assigned a survey mission. Begin your investigation as soon as you receive your assigned location.
Okay. What's the current situation?
Just as the news says, our satellites observed some abnormal weather. It's possible that it could escalate into an unimaginable catastrophe.
Understood. I'll contact the closest airfield and head out immediately.
Shelia, we've confirmed...
Alright, this one's titled, Americans are shocked by what Goodwill is really doing.
Understood.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'll contact you again later.
I love this thrift store talk, man. They really have lost it.
Goodwill doesn't pay a single dollar for anything in their store. Every item on those shelves, someone gave it away for free. So here's a question that's been bothering a lot of people. Why does a used mug cost $6? Why does a donated jacket cost $45? And why is there a guitar behind a glass case, given away for free, now priced at $450?
Because it's vintage. It's vintage. Did you know that? Yeah. Elvis Presley's cousin used this mug. Yep. For $75. The vintage thing has gone a little far.
General Lynn's unit.
Oh, I've got some gripes with this stuff.
The answer isn't greed. It's not an accident either. It's a system. One that changed quietly, without most donors ever.
How much do you want for that Schwinn? It's $85. Because we're talking about things 30 years old. It's vintage.
We'll be arriving at the
Stephen Schwinn wrote it himself. Yeah.
Follow your instructions.
That's how they treat all this crap.
For being told. And when you see how it actually works, where your donations really go, who profits and who gets left behind, it changes how you see the whole organization. Let's get into it. Most of us carry the same mental image of what Goodwill is supposed to be. Someone finally cleans out the spare bedroom they've been avoiding, boxes up the clothes the kids outgrew, finds a blender in the back of a cabinet that hasn't moved since 2019,
In
loads
preparation.
it into the car, and drives to the donation center with one simple thought. Someone else can use this. A winter coat keeps someone warm. That blender ends up in a college student's first apartment. Simple idea, good intention. And for a long time, that's exactly how it worked. There was a period, not that long ago, when walking into Goodwill felt like real opportunity.
We've arrived at
Something that I don't think a lot of people know.
Sky is full of
This
thick clouds.
is a
We've
Goodwill
got strong
bin.
winds and lightning.
All right.
Everything is
And there,
fine.
you could look this up.
No
We've
issues.
got them usually in
In
most big
preparation.
cities. It's called the Goodwill bins. Now, what it is you'll have about 50 people to 100 people who like to scavenge for cheap goods. This is where they filter through a lot of stuff that either didn't make it in the store or hasn't gotten in the store yet.
Delia,
And
what's wrong?
they charge
The
you per
windshield has
pound.
been destroyed. I'm going
So
to eject.
this is where you can go get the really cheap stuff. But the thing is you gotta hunt. I mean, you gotta like, when they bring these bins out, they blow a whistle.
Director Chen,
All
I
these
managed to
people
escape the
start
aircraft.
rushing in. I've done
I can
this.
see a
Okay, I
massive
used to be
black
a
hole
reseller.
ahead.
A black hole.
I've done this.
Understood. I'll
I
inform the other
stopped
team
doing it
members.
because it's
For
just
now,
psychotic.
find a safe place to descend.
But you could go get 20
Roger.
pieces of clothing, some shoes, some other random stuff, media, books, CDs, random lamps. And what you do is you go put it on a scale and they just do it by pound. So you could walk out with 30 articles of clothing for $22. So you're paying, less than $1 for each item. But those same items, if you were to buy the same 20 items of clothing in Goodwill,
General
they're going to be
Van Gogh
5,
spotted near
10,
the drop
sometimes
site.
20,
I'm sending wake you when
$40
you're
a
back
piece.
up. Go rendezvous with
So there is still
As
an
for that black
option
hole,
for
we
it.
don't have enough info.
You just
We're counting
don't
on
know
your
about it.
intel.
Look it up.
According to
Goodwill bins.
satellite intel,
Do
General
a day.
Lin's unit
Have
has
fun.
already landed.
Like, go check
Watch
it
out.
out. It's very strange. It is weird. You gotta dig through some dirty stuff, dude. I mean, you'd find some random dildos and like poop smeared on stuff. It's like, it's a little nasty, but it does exist, is what I'm trying to say. They even got that market cornered. Really selling some. Throwing that out there, just in case you didn't know about it.
Jeans for $3, a button-down shirt for $1.50, a working toaster for less than the price of a fast food meal. If you'd just lost your job and needed something presentable
Shelia,
for an
this is
interview,
Wake. I'm
Goodwill
headed to your
had it.
coordinates now.
If you were
What's the
moving into
situation?
your first apartment
I'm
with
doing all
nothing,
right.
you could put
Okay,
together a
I'll
functional
contact you again
kitchen
later.
there for under $20. It wasn't fancy, but it was reliable. It filled a gap that almost nothing else did. And for a lot of people, it was the difference between managing and not managing. So when people walk into those same stores today and find price tags that feel more at
Shelia,
home in a
any
mid-range
anomalies with the black
boutique,
hole?
that reaction
Swallowed
isn't
up
just
a whole
frustration,
mountain. But
it's
apart from the
confusion.
rain, there's nothing
Because
unusual
something
over here.
genuinely shifted. And most people have no idea where that shift started. To understand what changed, you have to follow a donated item past the front counter. Most people picture the same simple sequence. The item goes in, someone checks it over. A few days later, it appears on a shelf. Someone buys it. That picture isn't.
Crazy part is people will pay the upscaled prices as long as it's something that's worth it. And the worst part is I do blame it on the resellers. I blame it on people like me who would take like this vintage stuff behind me. It's cool old, but even this old Hong Kong photo and this lamp and this TV and this other cool thing and this vintage camera right here. Hell, even this poster that you can't see here. And they would charge obscene prices for it. I was more of the middle of the road guy. I would buy something like this for $100 and then sell it for 200, or I'd buy it for 50 and sell it for 100. But a lot of people would say, even like a jacket, you're like, this is $75. You like what? But here's the problem, is where I'm getting at with this. Is this has gotten to a level where the amount of antique shops, vintage shops, they've almost gone into this vintage thing. Where you just throw the name vintage on it and boom. Instead of used, unwanted goods, now it's vintage. This is where it kind of got skewed, and the worst part is people will buy it. That's the crazy thing. They will buy it. The amount of stuff I've sold on eBay that I was like, I can't believe somebody actually bought this used pair of shoes for $32 was insane. And those same $32 shoes that would be $7 at Goodwill are now $30 at Goodwill or the thrift shop. That is the crazy part. Yeah.
Wrong. It's just missing a critical piece. Right behind the intake counter, every single donation goes through a sorting process that is far more deliberate than most donors ever imagine. And this is the part that almost nobody outside of Goodwill ever sees. Clothing is inspected for brand, construction, and era, not just condition. Electronics are evaluated not just for whether they work, but for what they might fetch online. Household items are checked for completeness, but also for collectability. Certain ceramics, certain glassware, certain tools from specific decades, all of it gets assessed with a more
Vintage. What did I tell you? The vintage craze is insane. And I know things were built better back in the day, I do get that, but even the garage sales, dude. Go to a garage sale now, people demanding just wild prices at a garage sale. It's like, this is meant to just take it. Get it the hell out of my life. It's even gone so far to where, like, I'm moving I got all this stuff that I could sell for good money. So I called this antique vintage shop. I'm buddy with the dude there. This is his job. Just get free stuff. He buys it. So I thought, I'll call him up. I go, hey man, you want to make a deal? I'll give it to you for steal of a deal. You make money, I make some money. Bunch of vintage stuff. Bunch of furniture, clothing, cool art on the wall. Just a bunch of stuff. Like $4,000 worth of stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a good deal. I don't want $4,000. It's what you would get if you sold it all for that price. Dude couldn't be less interested. Tried another place. I don't know him that well. I go in, and they're an antique store. Like, this is upscale, eBay in real life, not Goodwill place. And they couldn't have been more. I don't really want to buy anything. And I was like, damn. I was like, even these places want to do almost the Goodwill route. Or they want you to come in, put your stuff in there, and then if it sells, you take the cut. You don't want to risk anything. Like, they don't want to even pay a small price for it. Yet alone, they don't even want to pay a small price to sell it. They like want no risk whatsoever. It's like everybody's taking this Goodwill model. Kind of bizarre. I was being this whole time, and I was like, yeah, like, you make money, I make money. I'll pay more than a pawn shop. What pawn shop wouldn't even buy this crap? They're like, get the hell out of my face. But, you know, I came from the era of, like, if somebody came to give it to you, it's like, yes, let me pay for it, and then I'll sell it. You know, like, at a reasonable markup. It's just gotten a little insane. It really has. And sometimes I just go, I really enjoyed thrift shops. I really enjoyed vintage stuff. You know, but it's just gotten so absurd. It's kind of ruined the hobby of it. I don't know. It's a kind of a bummer. It really is. I used to love 10, 15 years ago, hell, even 6 years ago, going up into a random thrift shop or a random Goodwill and just coming up on a super cool item. Not even to resell, just to have, you know? And it's like you just came in and $5 just made your whole day, you know? I really miss that. I do. It wasn't, they didn't have the cool stuff behind the counter. You could find it in the wild in there, you know, for $3.99. Now they got that same t-shirt that was $2.99 behind the counter. And, you know, what, $45 for it. And it's 2001 leather jacket from J. Crew. Yeah, it's, I miss those days, man. I really do. I really do.
Trained eye than most donors ever realize. That much, you could argue, is just good operations. But for a specific category of items, the journey takes a turn that most people who donated never find out about. Picture two shirts being dropped off at the exact same moment. The first is a plain cotton tee from a mid-range chain. Common, unremarkable. The second is a vintage single-stitch graphic tee from the early 1990s. the kind that collectors actively hunt for online. Those two shirts will not follow the same path. According to training materials and employee accounts that have been shared publicly in recent years, Goodwill provides internal guidance for identifying donated items that carry higher resale value. Vintage denim, branded sportswear from certain eras, single-stitch construction, specific footwear, even certain household brands and toy lines that have developed collector followings. Staff are trained to recognize these categories, not just to price them higher, but to decide whether they belong on the floor at all. To the person who donated them, these look like old clothes. To the people sorting them, they look like something worth a great deal more. And that distinction is where the story...
Resellers really ruined it, man. Here's one. Sometimes I just take a shirt off. I put on the back of my chair. But, like, this is a perfect example. This is an old vintage Seinfeld Newman t-shirt, right? You don't know how much that is? If I were to put that up on eBay? Well, no, let's look. Let's go right now. Alright, I'm on my eBay page right now. It's my personal one. Right here. 50 bucks. 79 bucks. Some of these aren't vintage. 100 bucks, guys. Hold on, let me get this over there. $100. 100 bucks. Even hell, even some of these ones for 30. Probably got a hole in the armpit. It's all ripped up. It's got big stains on it. 30 bucks. 100 bucks. 100 bucks. Oh, let me go to my watch list. I want to show you some of the stuff I've saved. Hold on. You're going to get a kick out of this. Alright, let's get crazy. Dude, look at this. A vintage skateboarding sticker. $20, $18. A used beach towel. 30 bucks. An old poster. Skateboard poster. 80 bucks. Sometimes I just save stuff just because it's funny. Or like, dude, like old tech. Look at this. A finger skateboard because it's vintage. $25. Okay? Look at this. $450 for a bootleg skateboards t-shirt that you would never know about. Now, I'm never buying any of these, but I like to save them sometimes. Sometimes these people get a little desperate. They use skateboard DVD that you've never heard of. 30
careful.
$35. A VHS DVD combo player. Vintage. $750. Sometimes I save these because I'm blown away. I just save them because I go, you gotta be kidding. $745. Another one. Different brand. Same brand, different colorway. $750. DVD player. A used pair of vintage pants. $200. $200, guys. $200. I'm gonna see what else I saved in here. Some chairs, vintage chairs. Well, that's a little bit.
What should I do?
Let me see. This clock blew my mind. A vintage orange clock. $180. An Outcast t-shirt. $800. These are just cool. There's some art I can understand why it's expensive. This is just stuff I saved. Dude, look at this. Vintage tech decks, $20. An old Baywatch poster. $50. A Goodfellas. $1,000. May I go on? A clock. An old Harley shirt. $60. One fingerboard. $15. A DVD without a case. $45. I think you guys get my point. I think you get back to the program. I'm just blown away. I save some of this stuff and I just go, you gotta be kidding me. Like, they're never gonna get that. Maybe they will, but out of their damn minds.
Starts to get complicated.
The point of that whole story this is why all the thrift shops are completely...
Two more just cross over the shore.
I'll handle it.
This is why. And people will pay it. This is why it happened. It didn't happen because people made these prices up and nobody bought them. People pay. This is why.
Here is the part most donors have never been told. Once an item gets flagged as high value, it often doesn't end up on the floor of the store where it was donated. It gets packed up and shipped somewhere else entirely. That destination is shop.
Yeah, don't make me go to Goodwill.com. Looks like damn K Jewelers on that website. I'm not going to do it. We did it on the main channel. You can go to Goodwill.com yourself and see the kind of crap they're trying to sell on their website. Astronomical prices. They got $10,000 diamond rings on that thing.
No problem.
It's Goodwill. What are you doing? K Jewelers.
Huh?
Goodwill.com. Goodwill's own online auction platform, where locations from across the country can list donated items and let the market determine what they're worth. According to Goodwill, that platform has generated over $1 billion in cumulative sales. For some people, that number sounds like a success. For others, it reframes everything they thought they understood about how this organization works. Because the jacket someone dropped off hoping it would help a neighbor, that jacket might now be sitting in an online auction, being bid on by a reseller 3 states away, with the price set by whoever bids highest. That is a very different journey than the one most people pictured when they loaded up their car. And the reason it happened without most donors ever noticing is because something much larger was already shifting in America at exactly the same time. Has your local Goodwill felt different lately? Or have you noticed prices that stopped you in your tracks? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious what people are seeing. Around 2020.
Before he dives into 2020, I do want to see some of those comments. Goodwill is a sham. I stopped donating anything to them years ago. I refuse to purchase anything from them. I do my donations and purchases small community church thrift shops. There are some occasional thrift stores that are reasonable. They still do exist. They do. For now. They're a multi-million-dollar business. Total scam. I might even say $1 billion. Look that up. Right here. Yes, Goodwill is a $1 billion organization, recording over $8 billion in total annual revenue.
What happened?
I ended up in this strange
more than
space
$7 billion specifically generated across its thousands of North American thrift stores. However,
Yes.
it is structured
What happened to the hostels?
as a
They headed off
501c3
toward the source of the
nonprofit.
signal flare. That's a strange phenomenon. I'll let the others know.
Mic drop. Yeah, nonprofit $8 billion organization annually. That's awesome. Good for them. And to be fair, there's money to be made in the resale game, especially if you're fair. There's a hole in the market. If you're willing to pay decent from people, like a kind of a pawn shop, let people know, hey, I buy stuff. If you ever want to get rid of stuff, they'll give it to you for free half the time. There's a hole in the market where you could be honest and fair. And you'll make a living. You'll do okay. There is a hole in the market. No one wants to pay for it, but they want to sell it at top dollar. So you offer some money for it, and you sell it at a fair dollar, and you know what you're selling. There's some money to be made, and not screw people over. Goodwill needs to drop prices. They aren't supposed to help. Okay. I donate to them once every 3 months. I'm going to stop. I think we'll start going to St. Vincent's. Yeah, St. Vincent's is usually pretty good, but they even mark up their stuff a little bit now. There are places that do exist, but I don't know for how long. Goodwill is so greedy and overpriced. Okay. Yeah, man. I think everybody's on the same template. There are still things in there you can buy for cheap. I just went to one recently. Like pants were a little overpriced, like $8, $10 for pants. Like, but I kind of get it. You know, everything's really expensive. You gotta pay people. I do get that. So it wasn't too bad, but it was a little more. Like just piece of crap shirts, $4.99. It's like a white tee from Fruit of the Loom, a used white T-shirt, $4.99. I was like, okay, dude, just like, where's the dollar rack? Like, there's a lot of this stuff that should be $8. Literally, 50 cents. Like, come on.
Something new started appearing in...
Like, all this stuff should be 50 cents. But they'll be like, this pillow's $4.99. This pillow's $4.99. This plastic thing, we don't even know what it is. $2.99. You know, it's like, this should be in the dollar. There should be a whole dollar section in this joint. Whatever happened to the dollar? But I want to...
Inside Goodwill stores. Not more donations. Not more families looking for deals. A specific kind of person. Walking the aisles with a phone already out. Scanning tags before items even finished hitting the racks. They weren't shopping. They were sourcing. Here's how it happened. Apps like Depop, Poshmark, and eBay had already made it easy to buy something secondhand and sell it to someone across the country within days. But then TikTok turned the whole process into a public performance. A creator posts a video. Shirt bought at Goodwill for $2.50. Sold on eBay for $62. 4 million.
Yeah, I was a part of this world. I didn't make YouTube videos on it, but there are people who were in this reseller game who would make YouTube videos.
Views in 2 days. And suddenly, millions of people watching from their couches all had the same thought. I could do that. What followed was a gold rush, directly into thrift stores.
Yeah, so basically, it got to the point where so many of these resellers started making YouTube channels and all this stuff, and their YouTube channels started earning them more money than their actual resale business. So these garage sale flipper guys and all these people, I'm not knocking it. You should do it, please. Do YouTube, do reselling. Like, there's money to be made. I encourage you to try at least. Why not? But my point is there was a level of it where it was like, damn, dude, like some of these, because I did it full time.
Let me know if you spot a
So
girl with a ponytail.
what happened was, there were some of these people saying you're gonna make all this money, and in reality, if you're a reselling person of used goods, in reality, if you started making $3,000 to $5,000 a month, you were really doing good. That's the reality of it. That's like what most people will probably make in that game, unless they're very specialized and they've been doing it for a very long time. But they were overselling it as if you're gonna like get rich or something. Like, there was this weird thing to it where it became like false, like entertainment, but it was like false information. And I remember when I started seeing those videos pop up, I was like, man, and I was really into it. I liked it. It was entertaining, but I also knew the truth behind it. Because a lot of people started doing this stuff and lost it. It wasn't all that it was promised to be. Like, you're just going to go to a garage sale and make $2,000. Like, that's not how it works. The truth is, you're going to spend most of your day not finding anything. And then you don't even know what the hell you're looking for. You don't even know what to sell. And then things you think sell for all this money, you just wasted $55 on. So there was this weird thing going on. It's still happening now,
Strong
but
electromagnetic pulse wave
I think the rouge is kind of over. Yeah,
Roger.
that's why all this happened. It's true.
Of course. Vintage Levi's, Harley-Davidson tees from the 90s, Y2K era branded fleece, items that spent decades being overlooked suddenly had real market value. The U.S. resale apparel market reached approximately $53 billion in 2023 alone. Industry projections put it on pace to approach $59 billion by 2025. That is not a hobby. That is an industry. And to put that in perspective, the U.S. resale market is now growing roughly 5 times faster than traditional retail. It is pulling in buyers, sellers, and serious investment at a scale that nobody predicted even 10 years ago. What was once considered the territory of garage sales and church basements had become one of the fastest growing commercial...
Yeah, like I actually sold a pair of vintage ice skates once for like $110, and they sold so quick. It sold within like a day, which usually doesn't happen. Usually it'd take a long time for something like that to sell. And then I realized, oh, alright, everyone else was selling them for like $300. I've made some sales where I put something up and it sold so quick. I go, whoa, what's up with this?
Okay?
And then I realized like everyone else is selling it for $500. I just sold it for
There's a road just outside the temple. In the back.
But that really helped
Head
me
that
out.
way.
There's a lot of money to be made in this game. And but it showed me that I was like, oh, I can move stuff a lot faster if I just give it to an appropriate price. So for me, it was cool. It sucks for most people, but it is an opportunity. There is money to be made in it, and it is fun, so it's like, it just sucks that it's happened to all the thrift shops where, people just wanted something cheap. That's kind of the moral of the story. It really kind of screwed everything up. Or something fun. Like finding something like this lamp or something and, not paying $300 for it. And it's like, dude, I just got this at Goodwill. $15. That's what most people miss. Even me. Even me. Like, I don't make money off everything, right? Like, just for the fun of it. Something,
Beat
I miss
me
that,
and I'll
dude.
tell
I really
you.
do. I really do.
Sounds confident.
A good time. It was.
Categories in the country. That growth landed directly inside Goodwill's doors. At bin locations, where clothing sells by the pound rather than by the piece, the energy shifted visibly. When a fresh cart rolled out, what used to be an unhurried, casual browse.
Yeah, that's the Goodwill bins, dude. If you've never had it, it's tripping. I went maybe like 5-10 times and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. You want to make some money. You need to make some money. This is an option. People will buy it on eBay and Depop and all these other places. It's a bit of a learning curve. You're going to be confused about what the hell's going on here, but it exists. It's still cheap at these places. It's gnarly, but it is still something you can do for some extra money. Or hell, even a lot of money. Or a piece.
Was turned into something closer to a timed competition. Carts blocking aisles, gloves on, phones open to eBay's sold listings, people scanning, comparing, making decisions in seconds. Experienced resellers developed systems. Some came with printed reference sheets of brand labels to look for. Others memorized the difference between a single-stitch tee and a double-stitch one, because that detail alone could mean the difference between a $2 item and a $40 sale online. The question that once drove thrift shopping, does this fit me, had been replaced almost entirely. Now the question was, what can I get for this? But that was only...
Yep. And even crazier is some people have employees, so they'll have, like, let's say 2 dudes they hire to go do this for them. Man, it's a whole conglomerate. It's so crazy. I can't believe I was a part of this world. It started as more of just a hobby and fun, and then I realized I had good taste and people would buy it from me. But it got to the point where it just wasn't fun anymore, and it just wasn't... People were out of their minds. Like when it got to the point where garage sale people and regular people want top dollar from me as if you're a damn pawn shop, that's where I was kind of like, all right, dude, like, this is kind of gone. This has gone too far. Like the amount people would be charging for stuff, I was just like, I can't get behind this. Not that I won't pay up for nice things or old vintage stuff. I will, here and there, but like I can't really get behind it fully. There is a positive to it. I'm kind of over this whole thing. There is a positive to it, though. It's kind of preserving stuff, which I think is a good thing. How do I show you this? Here's what we'll do. Like, it's like a form of recycling, you know? Like this old TV over here, and then I've got old skateboards hanging up you can't see. Even like this, everything behind me is basically vintage, except for a few items.
Shelia,
Basically everything behind me is old.
Do I have a
It
secure
could be
route?
sold for good money.
You should be able to see
if
a
I
mountain
wanted
behind
to.
the temple. Head there.
But it is like a preservation, a recycling system. So I think that is the one positive that I do like about it. I do like that. I think it's great. And I think it is cool. I think it's fun. But man, I do miss the days of just finding something cool and not having to cost an arm and a leg and money. Look what I found, dude. $7, you know? I miss that. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that there's something fun to do. You know? On a Saturday, once a month, to go out and hit all the thrift shops. Just to see if you find something cool, man. For you. Not to make money. That's why I always love thrift shops. Ever since I was 19,
Almost there. Don't give up
World
now.
Thrift in Lake Worth, Florida. Huge. Just like you could spend 2 or 3 hours in this place and you find something cool, man, for cheap. And then eventually down the road you go in there and they got a used pair of Nikes for $60. and a radio that would normally cost you $10 from them, $5 from them. They want $125 because it's a vintage Panasonic. And it was kind of like, damn, dude, it was something fun to do. Anyways, hell of a talk. Shout out to everybody who bought these underpriced $10 t-shirts. Appreciate your support. The RLP Classics. I also got the Caddy Daddy shirts on sale. Appreciate all of you for the support, buying those. Everyone that's hit up the line. If you are a YouTuber, influencer or something, get yourself a Connect With Me phone number. It's free. No monthly fees. Easy to set up. Connect with your audience. Make a little extra money. But more connect with your fans.
Don't give up now.
And the people who support you. No monthly fees. They take 20% of whatever you make from the phone calls. And no other talk. Rest in peace to all the old thrift world. I do miss it.
I'm okay.
I do.
There's
now it's just window
ships heading toward the black hole.
Like antique places.
We'll rethink the plan. Take a rest for now. Shelley, according to the sensors, the black hole is generating a stream of unstable pulse waves. You won't be able to use your exo unit or weapons.
What do I do?
Look around for something to protect yourself with. Satellites have confirmed several hostiles nearby. Hide yourself in the rain and take them out. Remember, if you get spotted, it's all over.